the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
Ladies and gentlemen, this video is brought to you by Into the AM. Into the AM is a clothing company based in Southern California. Their vision is that they see clothing as a canvas to express what drives you. When they sent me some of their shirts, I was shocked at how well they fit me, how soft and comfortable they are. Plus, they have a multitude of designs and colors that make me feel free. Use the link in my description to go to the Into the AM website to get 10% off your purchase. Right now, there are bundle deals where you can get graphic tees, 3 for $60, and basic tees, 3 for $49.95. And don't forget, they have amazing hoodies. Again, use the link in my description to go to Into the AM website to get 10% off your purchase. Clothing as a canvas to express what drives you. Into the AM. Go check it out. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphins fans. Once again, shout out to the sponsor of this video, Into the AM. The link is posted at the top of the chat, pinned right there. All you got to do is click on it. Go check out the merchandise, everything that they have. Man, it's really, I'm gonna be honest, it's some cool stuff. They sent me a whole bunch of stuff, as y'all saw in the video. I got a whole bunch of it. I've been rocking it lately. I ain't gonna lie, I feel good. And at the end of the day, I always look for stuff that feel good, that matches my style. So Into the AM, make sure y'all go check them out, y'all. Listen, we got a great show coming up today. You know, Kenny Pickett versus Tua Tagovailoa, 49ers draft pick. Ogbah's hurt. We didn't know about that. Christian Wilkins hurt. We didn't know about that. So we're gonna talk about the injury report for sure, and more on Gesicki as well. Love that shirt, TD. Nice. I told you, man. It's so many, man. It's pretty dope. I ain't gonna lie, they pretty dope, man. Make sure you go check them out. Graphic tees, they got regular tees, they got hoodies, they got everything into the AM. The link is at the top of the description of the video. Again, make sure you go check it out and punch that like button on your way in the building. If you like the shirt, hit the like button. All right, punch that like button, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Kenny Pickett versus Tua. What you got? What you think? What you think is gonna happen? Listen, a lot of people are high on Kenny Pickett, but he's not Tua Tagovailoa. I know Tua Tagovailoa still has a lot of work, and a lot of room to improve, and he's going to continue to grow. But Kenny Pickett ain't on this man level. I mean, let's just be honest. It ain't many people you can't say is on, certain people's level, but Kenny Pickett ain't one of those people. Okay, I'm not concerned about Kenny. The thing about Kenny Pickett is he does have the arm. I was worried about Trubisky's mobility. But Kenny Pickett has the arm to make the throws. And I just look forward to our defense really stifling him on Sunday because he's a rookie. He's a rookie. He don't know nothing about this defense. He don't know what's going to come his way. I kind of feel bad for Pickett. He just got out of the protocols. Now he got to deal with the heat of the Dolphins. It ain't gonna be nothing nice. But speaking of protocols, Tua just got out of it as well. So we're definitely hoping that he can sustain, playing a game, take a few hits, and still feel good about it. Especially since we got the news today that Austin Jackson ain't playing. He ain't ready yet. Him and Byron Jones, they ain't ready yet. We already know about Byron, but Austin Jackson ain't playing. What does that mean? Greg Little it is. Greg Little it is, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to have Greg Little taking that right side. We hope Armstead can make it through the whole game because we're going to need him to. I'm assuming Armstead is playing because I didn't see his name. I didn't see nothing about him listed on the injury report. Let me double check. Croson is doubtful, so he probably ain't going to play. Ogbah is questionable. Xavier Howard is questionable. Waddle is questionable. And Christian Wilkins is questionable. Byron and Austin Jackson ruled out. That's what we got. So I don't even see Armstead being discussed today. Unless y'all got some information that I don't have. All right. Yeah, that's all. I don't see anything on it. So it'll be interesting, man. Real quick, man. Christian McCaffrey. He's a 49er now. Now that offense, man, it has every dynamic that it could have. It got two great receivers. It got the running back to go with it now. So Debo ain't got to do all that work. Now he can run routes and do all that good stuff. Our draft pick, they were already going to make the playoffs, in my opinion. But now I feel like it's going to be a late first round pick. It's going to be a late first round pick. But what is the 49ers doing? The 49ers is telling y'all this. We went to a Super Bowl and lost. We went to an NFC championship game and lost. We're going to do just like the Rams. We're going for broke. Go get Christian McCaffrey. We're going to have this offense take it up a notch. So whatever our quarterback can't do, we're going to let this run game and these guys carry it. Defense is always going to be on point, always going to be one of the best in the league. Number 2 right now, if I'm not mistaken. And they said, screw them picks. Every 2023 pick they got is pretty much gone. We got their first round. They gave away their second, third, fourth, and fifth. They gave away their whole 2023 draft is done. So they basically are saying, with Jimmy G, we got to a Super Bowl and we got to an NFC championship game, and he's the reason why we couldn't get over the hump. Let's even load up what's around him even more. Let's go for broke. Hopefully this offsets his inefficiencies and it just gets us over the top. That's what they saying. That's all they saying. Hopefully this gets us just over the top. Rely on him a little less and run the ball a little more. And we already run the ball a lot. That's what they're doing. Now they're going to be sending Debo in motion. They're going to send the deep ball with Debo in motion, McCaffrey with the handoff. You don't know if it's going to be the jet sweep. You don't know if it's going to be the handoff up the middle. You don't know if it's going to be play action on both going deep. That was the vision for this offense. That was the vision for this offense, but we ain't got no Christian McCaffrey. We don't have a Christian McCaffrey. And we sure ain't got the O-line. Them the two things we ain't got this San Francisco got. We ain't got the Christian McCaffrey. And even them without Christian McCaffrey, they at least had the O-line. But we don't have the O-line nor the Christian McCaffrey. So now their offense will operate at its optimal. People say, well, San Francisco always had that power running game, but they never actually had receivers to complement it. I don't think that's true. I think the reason why is because you can follow their receivers, and if they coming across, they run it, and if they going out, they're passing. But now you don't have that luxury. Now you don't know which one it's going to be. Now they got somebody to go deep, they got somebody to come across, and they got somebody to run it, and you have no idea what's going to be coming your way. I give them 2 weeks, and they'll be operating on optimum, and they'll start winning games after games after games after games, led by the defense and the offense putting up a little bit more. That's exactly what I see happening in San Francisco. With 11 games left in the season, they'll probably win about 8 of them. They'll probably win about 8 of them. And that's just 11 wins, because if I'm not mistaken, they what are the 49ers right now? Y'all give me a second. Are they 3-3? I think so. Let me see. All right. They are 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they 3-3. And it's so interesting. Look how they lost games, y'all. The first game of the season, they only put up 10 points, and the Bears had 19. Second game, their defense only gave up 7 to the Seahawks. Third game, their defense only gave up 11, but they lost by 1 point. See, what's happening out here in this NFL, there are some amazing defenses that get absolutely no help from their offense. Like, think about it. 49ers, Broncos, 10-11, they lost. Defense absolutely phenomenal, but the Broncos offense gave them 1 more point than they did. And the Broncos offense has been horrible. We all know it. But mind you, the Broncos defense is superior as well. But you got to be able to break through those superior defenses and put more than 10 points up. You got to, especially with a defense like that. Then they played the Rams and only gave the Rams 9 points. Then they played the Panthers, only gave them 15 points. See, this is what I'm talking about. They got the defense that's ready for a Super Bowl run. And they, for the most part, have an offense that can get them far. But now you add the element of Christian McCaffrey, man. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting. T. Rich said QB play been down across the league, in my opinion. It really has. But you know what has also been down across the league? The deep ball has been down across the league. I don't know if people have noticed that, but the deep ball has been down across the league. You're not getting nearly as many as you used to. You know why? Most defenses now are going to cover 2, because this has become a wide receivers versus corner league. We're in the era where most teams moved away from the running back. You know how we go running back for 5 years, and then it's receivers for 5 years, and then it's running backs for 5. We're at the height of the receivers right now. Running backs are like, nobody truly cares. Nobody truly cares like that. So it's all about receiver, and that's why teams trying to load up on corner in the draft, free agency, everything. So since we're receiver heavy, most teams are playing a lot of cover 2 now. We're no longer all of that 8-man in the box. I mean, some teams, you're still going to get it here and there, but it ain't happening nearly as much as it used to. You're getting a lot of you're getting a lot of cover two, a lot of Tampa, and teams are not throwing the deep ball much. It's a lot of dink and dunk and a lot of middle of the field crossers. And most of the time when you throw the deep ball, it's guarded pretty well, and it's like a yay, we made the play, or a guy split the defenders for whatever reason the defense screwed up and let them do it for. So it's interesting. It's interesting what's happening, and that's also keeping the points down in the league. It's also keeping the points down in the league. But that also reminds me about Tua Tagovailoa, because I'm not so much concerned about Tua, but I want y'all to pay attention to something that really does worry me, concern me. I said this for the last 2 weeks, and Wes Welker kind of confirmed it in his press conference today. And shout out to the homie AJ for sending this to me. Basically he said exactly what you've been saying, TD. So how many times have I told y'all lately, I'm a little concerned about this Tyreek Hill situation. I feel like we're force feeding him the ball too much and we're not spreading it around. And then whenever we do try to get it to other guys, they're a little cold, they're a little rusty, they dropping balls, fumbling balls, Waddle, for instance, and I'm a little concerned because it feels like we're not just feeding Tyreek, but force feeding him too. And I said, I don't like that, because that could hurt us long term. And Wes Welker said it today. He said it in his presser. Tyreek was going, and at that point, it's like you abandon the offense. And you're just like, how can we get Tyreek the ball more? No. I hate that mentality. Play your game. Play your offense. Let's not turn this into an isolation because a guy's on fire one-on-one and let him cook for the rest of the day since he's on. That you don't do that in the NFL. You don't do that in the NFL. That comes back to bite you. And Wes Welker confirmed that today. And I was like, oh my. And why did I say I was worried about Tua with this? Because in the Bengals game that he got a concussion. Go back and watch the game. In that game, he started to show that himself. And I was getting mad at Tua. Just like I got mad at Skyler when he threw the deep ball in cover two, and Tyreek wasn't even close to being open. Matter of fact, the two defenders were in front of him. It wasn't even close to being open. And I'm like, why would you throw that? It's almost like they said, let's take a shot to Tyreek no matter what. And some people say you're looking into it too much. No, it's just happening in the flow. Wes Welker said that ain't happening in the flow. When Tyreek cooking, they looking to get him the ball, trying to find ways to get him the ball, force him the ball. And that's not good, and I don't like it. Because in that Bengals game, after that first beautiful drive by Tua Tagovailoa, he comes back out and he throws a deep ball to Tyreek in terrible decision. There was no crease in space or anything, and he got picked off. But then he came back on the next drive and did it again, and it was incomplete with great coverage. And then for a third time, he did it again, and luckily Tyreek caught up to it and tipped it away from the defender before it was picked again. These are forced throws that aren't open, but you're just putting it up, and I hate that. And I hope Tua doesn't go for that crap when he comes back. And then I know I keep saying 3, but it was actually 4. But he didn't pull the trigger. The fourth one was the play he got concussed on. That's all he wanted. He was waiting deep. He wanted it. I'm happy he didn't pull the trigger. But sitting there isolating on Tyreek waiting deep also contributed to him holding the ball too long. We got to stop that mess. T. Rich said, LOL, I don't remember all that happening in Cincinnati. Maybe you were concussed like Tua. He didn't remember what happened either. But all you got to do is go back and watch the film. It's what happened. It's exactly what happened. Um, hold on. Versus Cincinnati. And you know, I like to help you out though. DM said I did. No, a lot of people have said that to me. Man, he didn't throw that many deep. Yes, he threw it deep 3 times, and one time he didn't, the one that he got hurt on. It happened. Promise you that. Hold on. TD stay with comebacks. That's right, baby. That's right. Always got to be prepared. All right, so the first example was the interception. That was the second drive of the game. Okay? It was the second drive of the game. Give me a second. And then, yeah, it was the second drive of the game, right? And then the next one was the third drive of the game on 3rd and 10. Tua Tagovailoa pass incomplete deep to Waddle. That was the second one at 7:42 left in the second quarter. That was the second one. The first one was the interception. That was on the second drive. The second one was the third drive on 3rd and 10. Tagovailoa deep incomplete pass to Tyreek Hill, and then Jason Sanders made a long field goal. Okay. And let me see. The third one was the very next play. The third one was the very next play. It might have been more than that, actually. When we got the ball back, the very next play, Tua Tagovailoa incomplete deep right to Tyreek Hill, but we got a roughing the passer on that play. He actually got hit pretty hard on that play. It was roughing the passer. That one was a deep one as well. And then we ran the ball. Oh, that was it. That was all 3 of them. Then we ran the ball. Then Tua Tagovailoa got sacked and was injured and was out for the game. So just in case you didn't think all of that happened, and I'm going to tell you like this, it was almost pass after pass after pass. Like literally, the first one was there, and then the other 2 were like back to back. So one more time, the interception was one of them. Then that next drive on 3rd down, the last offensive play of the drive, incomplete deep to T Hill. That's the one I'm talking about. And then the next drive, the very next play. Matter of fact, 3rd and 10 went deep. No, it wasn't there. Then the very next play on 1st down, the play action, holding on to the ball, going deep, almost got picked, but Tyreek Hill batted it away, but we got a roughing the passer on that. All right. And then the very next play, he held on to the ball too long after a Mostert run for a negative 10-yard sack. So yes, it happened exactly like that. I've been explaining that to people for a week now, and everybody like, he didn't throw it deep 3 times and almost got picked. Yes, he did. I mean, it was the play after play after play. And that's what frustrated me. It was play after play after play. Like it wasn't in the Florida game. 6 plays later, he took another shot. They were like, and I'm like, y'all force feeding this. This man wasn't open on all 3 of those, 2 defenders. And this is an argument that I've had for years. Tua Tagovailoa does not read a defense. People say, oh, you say he don't read the defense. Look, he just connected on a deep ball. I told you. Clemson players told you. LSU players told you. Even if it ain't open, he going to throw it anyway. And I've been like, I'll argue with EM one-on-one. I'd be like, Tua just be throwing it anyway. Every deep ball this man throw just about, he throw it anyway. Like 80% of all his deep balls, whether it's open or not, he throws it anyway. He is not reading the defense. He knows the play, know where he's supposed to be, and he putting it out there. He is not reading defenses. No, you can't say that. And it's hard to prove it, right? The only proof that I've always had is because he'll be looking to the right at a safety, and then he coming left and he already cocking back and he sees and he goes. I'm like, he didn't look to see if it's open, then throw. It's like he looking and he just automatically, I'm like, you didn't process that. You didn't process that. And EM always argue, well, you don't know that. Maybe he saw it with his peripheral. No, because look, the man ain't even open. But sometimes the guy's open, wide open, and they'd be like, oh, well, look, you don't know that. These 3 plays in Cincinnati, there goes your proof. Back to back to back, cover 2, double safeties, had no chance whatsoever, still threw the ball. Still threw the ball. We cannot have that on this team. Turnovers will kill us, especially in the playoffs. And that's why I was so mad at Skylar Thompson when he did that crap too. He did that crap. And that was in the Minnesota game where he looked amazing. That was the one play I hated of his. Threw it in double coverage to Tyreek. Thank God he overthrew it by 8 yards. But you cannot do that. You can't do that. Turning the ball. And what's happening is you're hoping Tyreek can do a Philadelphia Eagles every time from preseason. Bad throw, or it ain't open, but he'll turn around or he'll find it and he'll locate it. You can't hope that crap every week. You can't bank on that every week. Small sample size, though. His deep balls are a small sample size, period. So it's still a bad percentage on a small sample size. TD, I remember we were so happy till Tua got hurt. I was happy that we were winning. Tua getting hurt didn't change us from being happy. It changed Tua and ears from being happy, but Tua getting hurt didn't change Dolphin fans from being happy. What changed Dolphin fans from being happy was the O-line play immediately fell off because of Armstead and them got hurt. Basically right along with Tua. Fell off. The offensive line fell off right away. The penalties picked up big time. Y'all do realize in 3 games, we got like 30 freaking penalties. In the first 3 games, we had like 22 or something like that, but it's still better. 10 a game versus we actually probably got like 33 in the last 3 games. And we got like 19 in the first 3 games. That's a 4 penalty difference. That's 6 penalties a game versus 11 or 12 or whatever. 11. That's unacceptable. And the defensive secondary continued to get worse and worse every week when it comes to injuries. Every single week, somebody got out and pretty much gone for the season or out. The secondary has been like literally nose diving every week. Somebody's on the sideline to the point to where the Dolphins figured out a way to have like 5 different corners in front of Noah, and Noah's starting now. Well, depending on the Croson play, but Noah's getting primary reps now. They literally, if y'all don't notice that since training camp, the Dolphins figured out a way to put like 5 corners in front of Noah, and now Noah playing. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. I can't even name them all. Trill Williams, Nick Needham. I mean, so many. Croson gonna be out this week probably. It was a few more. So like 2 more guys, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what's changed on this team. O-line, penalties, secondary. O-line, penalties, secondary. Now, mind you, in the Jets game, the whole defense stunk. I don't know how they gave up that kind of rushing yards. That was just unacceptable. But you're going to have those sometimes, so I don't care about that, right? And then look what they did to Minnesota, bounce back. So I'm not worried about that. But what's been consistent has been the O-line fell off, the secondary, and the discipline with all the penalties. That's why we've been losing games. So I know it's easy, though, and we're going to listen to the Tua ears that say, since Tua left, we ain't, nothing's been the same. Just coincidental. That's all it is. Coincidental. Any real person that want to put football, like instead of, fanning out, want to be real about football, if Tua would have been behind this O-line for the last 2 weeks with their trash play plus the penalties, and it would have been a worse situation it was with Flores, come on. Come on. Come on. If we want to keep it real, at least, So this week, I hope we don't have any setback with Armstead on Sunday, but that's a huge gain. The Austin Jackson being out on that side of the ball, that's not good, but at least it's better than both sides being out. And I think, we'll do enough on Sunday to make it do what it do. Tyreek Hill's going to go off because I personally feel like they're going to keep forcing him the ball. Waddle, questionable. But again, he's been hurt for 4 weeks now. That's what I've been telling people. Waddle been hurt for 4 weeks now. This ain't a new injury. Waddle's been hurt. Well, this may be a new injury, but he's been playing hurt. He had other ailments too. But I've been telling people that, but we brush it off because he's out there every week, but we wondering why that production keep going down. Oh, because Tua's not out there. Either way, you can only throw to one guy anyway. Gesicki trade situation still heating up, but we'll see how that goes. If anybody even acts on it. Shout out to Boss 21 with the donation. Said, what's up, TD? Been a Fins fan since 87. I don't care who helps us get to the promised land. Let's just get there. I agree. That's a real fan right there. That's how it's supposed to work. That's how it's supposed to work. If Noah Monogamy can help us get there, let's go. If Eric Ezukama can help us get there, let's go. If Tua Tagovailoa can help us get there, let's go. If Gesicki, let's go. If X, let's go. Teron, whoever it is, Skyler, I don't care. As long as we could get there, let's go. That's all that matters. Why are we not scoring at this point of the season for 3 years straight? Why are we not scoring for 3 years straight at this point? Because we don't have an offensive identity. We don't have an offensive identity. Something nobody talks about is how limited we are. Now, it's funny I'm about to say this. Y'all gonna rip me apart, but how limited we actually are on offense. We got speed and good hands, but we're limited. First of all, you don't have a consistent run game. That's a fact. We actually don't. Everybody, Mostert is a beat. Mostert's been playing great. He had one game over 100 yards. And I don't think he had another game over 70. But we're limited on offense. We got a whole bunch of guys that's going to catch some intermediate passes, and we're hoping their run after catch can go downfield and get a touchdown. But it's highly unlikely when you run cover 2 because now you got 2 guys behind you instead of 1 or nobody. The only scores that we pretty much got was blown coverage wide open deep. Tyreek, he done played 6 games and only scored in 1 of them, and he scored both of his touchdowns in that one, and that was straight up blown coverage by Baltimore. Straight blown coverage. Those are his only 2 touchdowns in 6 weeks. It'd have been a lot better if it was 1-1 in different weeks, but maybe we wouldn't have won that game. But 6 weeks, 1 game, he got in the end zone. And the problem is you also don't have a big body threat on this team. You ain't got the fade route. You ain't got the 50-50 guy. You got Tyreek out here trying to snatch 50-50s down. And he come down sometimes, but let's be honest. Ain't a good look. We ain't throwing too many fades in the back of the end zone. On the side by the pylon. We don't have the big guy. We got a whole bunch of short, small guys that we hope can get the ball and make something happen after they catch it and explode into the end zone. But that just hasn't happened, and it doesn't happen in cover 2. You catch the ball, you get a lot of yards, but you got 2 guys back there to bracket you to make the tackle. Let's pick up a franchise QB. I think that ship is sailed at this point. I think it's sailed. Not completely, but it ain't going to be easy. Now, I will say this. That Brady stuff might start kicking back up after his little comments he made at a press conference with the Bucs. I'm just being honest, because him and his wife going through it. She want him to stop playing, and he don't want to stop playing. And they may even get divorced over it, according to the news out there. I don't know. And he recently came out. He sounded like he might have been kidding or joking, but most people don't joke about stuff like that, especially when you got trouble at home. He say he don't see retirement in his future anytime soon. I don't see retirement in my future anytime soon. And I highly doubt he's going to be a Buck next year. Highly doubt that he's going to be a Buck next year. But I will tell you a destination he may end up next year outside of Miami, but Miami is an option. I'm just saying, we know what happened before, so it's always going to be an option until he don't. But one place that he could end up, because it was an option, San Francisco. Because they got exactly what he needs now. San Francisco has exactly what a Tom Brady would need. And whatever they're missing, he's going to pick up the phone and make 2 phone calls to whatever position it is, and they'll be in the building. And that team will probably win a Super Bowl. With that great O-line, with a great running back, with 2 great receivers, with the greatest quarterback of all time, and a top defense, elite defense, they would win a Super Bowl next year. I'm sorry. I don't care how good we get. They will win a Super Bowl next year. They just added Christian McCaffrey. Like, they would win a Super Bowl next year. High probability, ain't nothing guaranteed, but they would be favorites. Because he ain't playing for Tampa after this year. Tom not coming back another year. Listen, you can't keep that man away from the game. Now, if he don't win a Super Bowl, he may hang it up. But if that man win a Super Bowl this year, and y'all know how this goes, I don't care how they looking right now. At the end of the day, if they get in that dance, it's please. If that man win another Super Bowl this year, how many would that be? 8? That would be 8, if I'm not mistaken. If that man win a Super Bowl this year and he get his 8th ring, man, slap yourself in the face if you don't think he coming back. If he got an opportunity to say, I can go to San Francisco with a top 5 offensive line in the league, a top 5 running game in the league, the top receivers in the league that are so dynamic. I ain't even got to go deep all the time. I just got to deliver it in a top 3 defense. He going to get number 9. And if he get number 9, what you think he doing then? Ain't nothing. Ain't what you think he doing if he get 9? And it'll be with San Francisco again, if that's the case. TD, do you think our offense will improve this weekend? Absolutely. Absolutely. As long as our O-line can hold up enough, our offense is going to do just fine this weekend. Matter of fact, they might even put up over 30. Or our offense won't put up more than 10 and we'll get beat up on. It's either going to be one way or the other. TD, do you think we can win a Super Bowl this year? Absolutely not. We are too top heavy. We have no depth at no position at this point. We have absolutely no depth at no position. And why you think we going through what we going through now? If the O-line was executing at a top 10 level, that's a different story. If the run game was operating at a top 10 level, that's a different story. If the defense was operating at a top 10 level, that's a different story. Do you see all 3 of those categories not operating at a top 10? I ain't say top 5, top 3. I just said top 10. Absolutely not. Now come out here, change that narrative, go ball out for the next 5 weeks, and we'll see in week 6. Because the next 5 weeks, you got that trap just like last year when we went on that 7-game win streak. It all looking good, man. We rolling. Nobody could beat us, even though they were the worst teams in the NFL. Just like the next 5 teams we finna play are like the worst teams in the NFL. Then as soon as you run into a real dog, a big dog, a Buffalo, or one of them, like actually healthy, we gonna find out who we are. I already know who we are, but it upsets people if I tell you, so I'll let you read between the lines. Offense gonna be top 10 with Tua back. What in points scored and yards per game or touchdowns? I mean, which one you talking about? Because yards per game, yeah. Touchdowns, no. Points scored, no. No. Mm-mm. Hold on. PD about to eat those words. I hope so. I hope so. I really hope so. Right now, we're 18th in points per game. I mean, let that sink in, y'all. Right now, we're 18th in points per game. And if you took just the fourth quarter of Baltimore out, we'd be number 27 in points per game. We done played 6 games, and it's a shame that if you take one quarter out, you go all the way to 27th. That's all you need to know. That's exactly what you need to know right there. That's what you need to know. We got to be better. We have to. But you can't take away the Ravens game. But regardless, not taking it away from it, we're still 18th. We're still 18th. T. Rich said fourth quarters count too. I agree. That's why I say you can't take them away. But there is a such thing as context. See, we could fool ourselves and just go with the raw data, or we could dig under the surface and said they didn't have no secondary. They were all banged up, and they blew coverage and let guys run right past them. We could, dig a little deeper and say Buffalo, their entire secondary didn't play. Their entire secondary didn't play. Because if we don't dig deep and we just go off of the surface, then we scratching our head when we play Buffalo again and it's 40-10. Like, how? Then we acting brand new, like, what's going on? No. The circumstance we benefited from. We benefited from the circumstance, just like the Vikings benefited from our circumstance. See, this is the last thing I'm going to say. We got to start being fair. The hypocrisy has to end. We can't sit here and not use the context of those Baltimore and Buffalo's defense, but then when it works in our favor, we want to use the context. Well, if Tua would have played the last 3 games, we would have won. Hold on. You can use the Tua context, but we can't use their secondary's context. See, this is where we got to stop this delusion as Dolphin fans and keep it a buck. So I don't mind you using the Tua narrative if you want to and you want to ignore all the other context. But if you're going to use the Tua narrative in context, then you got to use it, the Buffalo in Baltimore as well. But why we can't do that? Why we can't keep it a buck? Why everything has to be skewed to what we want it to be so it feels better, and then we let down so bad later? You ain't got to be let down if you just keep it a buck and know what to expect from this team. This team is not producing offense, ladies and gentlemen, period. We are not producing points. And then the crazy thing is, furthermore, on context, even if you look at the first 3 weeks, half of our points came off of turnovers that put us in a great position. We started one drive from the 6-yard line. We started another drive from the 28-yard line, already in field goal range. We started another drive from the 40-yard line. We're not producing points. The only time we have produced points all season is for 13 minutes in the Baltimore Ravens game. Because 26 seconds left in the third quarter, we threw a deep ball for the touchdown. And then the fourth quarter, we did it 3 more times. Or whatever. 4 more times. Anyway, that was my last one. This is TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. I'll be back to y'all later. I also got a show on the AFC East Roundtable later today. I also have a show collaboration this evening. Let me see here. Oh, with El Capitan and the crew. So and that should be at 8:00. And I'll keep y'all posted on that. I'll post something on the community tab. But tune in because it's going to go down. It's a lot to talk about, man. G Money said, and they were key DBs hurt, not just any DBs. Yeah, but it's all good. It's all good. The next 5 weeks, we'll dog the worst teams in the NFL, and everybody will be on a high again. Then when we actually go through a real test, we'll determine who we are. But anyway, I got to get out of here. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fans up no matter what. Again, the link is in the description of the video. Into the AM. Go check it out. Love y'all so much. Peace. I'll see y'all soon.